What's up, everybody? This is Real with Ryan, where I have real conversations with real people to help you get to know the real you. And today, I have Miss Evette and I have Messiah. If y'all want to tell them how old y'all are and like what y'all do.
I'm from El Paso, Texas. I'm 22. I make and design clothes. Anything that y'all need, get right with me.
Yeah.
Cool. I am originally from Lubbock, Texas. I've been in Dallas forever, and I am a mother, a wife, a grandmother. I'm a women's boutique. I own a women's boutique, and I also have a eyelash extension studio.
Okay. Y'all, I feel like it's been a minute, so I just feel like in my heart, I need to come back a little harder. So today, I'll be talking about multiple topics. There's like agree or disagree questions, and we're gonna be hearing their opinions on them, agree or disagree. And the purpose of this is to motivate y'all to have these conversations with the people closest to you, to challenge your thoughts and your beliefs, and just to see who you are for real. Because you're not gonna be able to know who you are if you don't, ask yourself these type of questions. So the 4 topics are life, family, relationships, and friendships. What's y'all's opinion on therapy?
I feel like therapy comes in many forms, like my thing, talking to people about my problems. I mean, that's one thing. It really doesn't help as much as like writing it down. That's always been sort of my therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it can be many different things. Some people have a lot of different things that are therapeutic to them.
Right.
So, you know how that works out.
So retail therapy, definitely. But traditional therapy, I think, for years, especially the Black community, I think people looked at it as really taboo. But the older I get and the more issues that I have faced in life, I think therapy is 1,000% necessary. And I think, honestly, we are all doing ourselves a disservice by not at least having a couple of therapy sessions.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I feel like even if you feel like you don't need therapy, that's when you can really tap in and like question yourself, and you can really grow in that point in your life too. Just because you're just seeing things from a different perspective, even though you feel like you're this way, you can do therapy and have them asking you questions, having you asking about your habits and stuff, where it's like, oh, I'm really not like this.
And dumping and decluttering your mind.
Exactly.
Because,
For sure.
I have to do that. Sometimes, I set aside days where I say, I'm going to declutter my mind. Like, let me see what I got going on for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You need to do that. Yeah.
And like you said, therapy, there's different types of therapy. I didn't know that there's like music therapy, there's art, so it's cool. But what's y'all's opinion on not going to college?
I feel like nowadays you can learn anything on the internet just as much as you can in college.
Not for real.
When it comes to if you're looking for a career that requires it, of course, that's kind of something you got to go through. But as far as that, like, to me, I think you can learn just as much outside of college than in collge.
Exactly. Get certifications with stuff too.
Yeah,
I could be a certified lifeguard. I don't know how to swim. What about you though?
I think college is great. It's a great experience. I definitely feel like you can learn just as much without a college degree. So truly, I think it's just to each his own. So if college is what you need, and like I said, it's a great experience, do it. My thing is, one thing I tell my kids is just be productive. Be able to take care of yourself.
Definitely.
A lot of people say like college is a good experience, but they're not really talking about the educational side. They're talking about the parts like meeting people too, just meeting people in general. But I'm the type of person, I don't need that. Like, you know me, Mr. B. I be talking to everybody. I don't need that. But no, okay.
But I will say this, as far as network ability, but you can still do that out here. But I will tell you, like, just being in college, just that network ability is a whole lot bigger sometimes. But, I mean, that doesn't mean, because everybody isn't Orion. They can't. So if you sometimes you have to go there to get that.
Yeah. Okay. I've asked my homegirls like this question right here, and it's all different. Okay, so do y'all feel like y'all should greet everybody when you walk in the room? You would say no. You would say no.
It depends, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends.
What if
know?
you walk into somebody's crib? Like
Okay,
the mama
no.
there, the aunt there.
Okay, in that case, you most definitely should.
Okay,
you know
what if
I
you
mean?
walk into like a restaurant, everybody sitting down? You gonna greet everybody? Like it's a family, not a family,
at my
friends.
table? I mean, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, I guess I do agree.
Yeah, I
with
was
this
gonna
saying,
say.
you know what I'm saying? But I guess it just depends.
You know, so it's crazy because I never thought at 48 I would be having a conversation with a group of 48-year-old women because I thought, you know, growing up, that was like, period. You know, if you didn't, sometimes you would get, you know, chastised for real for it. And so, you know, we just went to New York in March and we had that conversation. And one of the ladies, she was like, if I walk in your house and you're doing whatever, why should I have to speak to you? You should speak to me. And I'm like, I've never heard that. I've never in my 48
So
years.
so the person whose house it is, they're supposed to speak to.
Yes. Right. I know.
Wait.
I'm like, and she said that that's how she was taught. And you know, I mean, and her reasoning was it made sense, I guess, you know, because she's like, you know, because she was just like, she didn't feel like if she walked in the house, if they were busy and they were doing whatever, why should she go and like interrupt them or whatever?
Okay.
And I'm like, kind of, but I mean, I'm like, but what if they're not doing anything? Does that
Yeah.
So I mean, we were just taught when you walk in somebody's house, you always speak to them.
Yeah.
I mean, and almost I think you're speaking together at the same time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
For sure.
As an and to me, I feel like, especially if they're my elder, I'm definitely going to be the first one.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
you know,
I feel like that's something I do all the time, even if I don't know nobody. It's just like a certain type of energy you bring when you do that. It's a calm, like inviting energy. So it's like, hey, how you doing and stuff. But yeah.
I agree with that.
So it's considered disrespectful to be on the phone loud in a quiet setting. Agree or disagree? Like, example, you in a nail salon and somebody's on the phone loud talking to somebody. Is that disrespectful?
I definitely think that's disrespectful. I feel like people should be more aware of
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
You that person, Missy?
Yeah, oh God, you felt that.
Nah, I feel like it's disrespectful too. Just cause like that's how I was brought up though. Like, Miss Evette, why you be doing it?
Man, I you know what? Because it's just so much easier. So I did. Like, these saved my life. Okay, saved everybody else's life, I guess. But definitely, I'm that person, and I know it's annoying, and I know it's not right. but
you're still
but we still do things that ain't right sometimes, and I'll be like, you know what? And then I'm looking like, why? But I mean, it's like I don't want to hold this phone to my ear, you know, because hey, I'm just that person. I'm gonna do it.
Gonna do it.
And I'm not gonna get real loud, but the people on my phone may be loud. But you know, I am trying to be mindful of the people. But yeah.
Do y'all feel like social media is a distraction?
For sure.
Absolutely.
I would say more or less towards the younger communities. You know what I mean? Just there's a lot of people that pay attention to more of their social media lives than their own.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's a real problem.
Sorry to bust your bubble. It's not just the younger. It's everybody. It really is. And I don't TikTok. I'm scared. Like I
had
don't
to get
even
off
want to
that.
open TikTok.
Yeah, I had to get off that.
It really, because I can get caught up in like certain things on Instagram, like Facebook. I'm not even that, you know, into Facebook anymore. But, you know, Instagram, you know, you'll see all the, you know, because you see all, what is that on that one page and you see
The
everything.
reels? You talking about the reels on Instagram?
No, it's like that main page where you see all the
Explore
page.
Yeah,
So you'll see all that, and it's like, oh, I'm going to look for something, and then you start messing with everything on the Explore page. But I have definitely seen like adults get caught up in the TikTok. Like, I mean, my friends talk about. They're like, I saw such and such on TikTok, and you could do cuss TikTok, and I'm like, so we're living TikTok.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just feel like we could use social media. Like, it could be a huge benefit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
it
we
is.
don't. We don't
Yeah.
use like TikTok is so easy to have your business pop in.
Yeah.
Just get things out there, but we don't use it just
Yeah. Well, let me just.
you're
I
good.
think too because For me, I think it's hard for me with social media is because I'm such a real person, and I think sometimes using it, you're trying to create this fictitious person. Like we're cutting and we're this and that, where we can't give here we're talking real raw and whatever. Like I think when you social media, you're trying to find this perfect way and this perfect thing. You know what I mean? And so sometimes when you're such a realist, it can be a little hard to navigate it.
I see what you're saying. The world is getting better. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. I hope y'all disagree with that as well.
Yeah.
Just everything that's going on, you know.
Wait, I'm gonna disagree with you.
I know.
But go ahead.
You're gonna say
I'm gonna
disagree?
disagree with you.
What?
Look. I feel like things are so zoomed in now because of social media. Back then, we had like serial killers. Well, ain't we? Y'all, no.
We did. I remember.
Like it was bad, but that wasn't zoomed in. You didn't really hear about it like that unless you were in that city. Because there was no social media. And now all people do, like you got to think about it, all people do is stay on social media.
Facts.
All the news projects is like the negative stuff. And all that's popping up on your, your social media is negative stuff. So of course you're going to think that. But I feel like it's gotten better because therapy has came, did a big run again. People are talking about that more. Just self-care now. Self-care is a thing now for both women and men. People are being more vulnerable. We have things like this, like social media, to where you could take these platforms and use them for good. We're having those uncomfortable conversations with people now. People are, racist. Like people, it's just a lot of stuff. Like diversity now, everything.
I feel like times back then where you can just be outside and be playing with kids in your neighborhood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Better. The suicide rates are higher than ever.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what I mean? And that's just. It's obviously a result of something, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying too. And even like with health, like certain foods, I feel like they were healthier back then. So it's like it could go both ways.
Yeah, Starbucks just got sued for selling fake food.
Starbucks.
Not the croissants.
I
Not the croissants.
I know it's that refresher stuff like that. They've been putting artificial flavors in them.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
They're gonna be coming after you next.
Right. Like cut.
Nah, so what you think, Miss Evette?
So I don't think it's a better place at all. It to me is scary. I just remember growing up, as a little kid and just not having to worry about a lot of things. And now I see my young kids and grandkids wearing a whole lot more than we ever did as kids. I remember the one big worry we had when they said the Russians were going to come drop the planes over. And we were like, oh, my God. And it never happened. But, I think now, we just have to worry about so much more. And, just food. Money, and I understand that, the economy, shifts and whatever. But, when you could buy, I remember when the Big Grab chips first came out, and it was like, oh, my God, this big bag of chips. And it was 50 cents. You know what I mean?
What? They $8 now in Market Street.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'll be shaking, swiping my card.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Right.
What's y'all's opinion on cutting family members off? And do y'all do it? I do it.
Me personally, no matter how hard or how bad things have got with any of my family, I've never thought of them I've never thought I was going to cut them off. There's been times where we had distanced ourselves and stuff like that, but I think having a foundation to bounce back on, you know what I mean, to keep you guys close, I think that's most important, really. So.
Are you talking about immediate family? Because I'm talking about cousins.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about cousins.
Okay. So what you mean? What about you?
Cut them.
Cut them.
Hey, if health is wealth, and if somebody is compromising your mental health, your whatever, you got to cut them off. I grew up in a family where nobody knew who was what. You didn't know if you were brothers, cousins, whatever. And after I got older, I realized although some of those relationships weren't healthy.
Yeah.
And so you got to cut them.
Yeah.
Especially like the family members that just call you and ask for things.
Yes.
Or it's just,
Yeah.
no. All right, so children should not participate in family decisions. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
What?
Definitely.
They should not?
I don't like. It depends on what it is. There's a lot of kids that you got kids nowadays watching nothing but TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not. Again, it depends on what they're deciding on, but I feel like important family decisions that I would leave that up to my mom, or something like someone who's experienced, who's been through that.
But then, too, it's like if you're in it, making the decisions, you're going to learn. You're going to take some stuff away from that, just being around it. You're going to be more comfortable with making those decisions when you're older. Because I realized when you're not used to that, it's going to be kind of scary when you first do it. Or like just seeing their perspectives and how they think when they're making decisions, that's beneficial. So I feel like they should, for sure. Even when you're young, like...
I absolutely agree. And my kids have always had a seat at the table, for the most part.
Yeah.
Because, right, you just don't want them to be caught off guard. And I'll tell you, honestly, I think it's helpful because I recall we moved to Houston, and my husband, we moved to Houston, we were there 4 years, and then my husband had to move back here. And we were trying to decide, because my oldest son was, I think it was his junior year. And so we were trying to decide, are we going to stay here? And so for a whole, month or two, I'm like, what do we do? What do we do? And finally I said, you know what? Just go ask them. And so I said, hey, guys, what do you guys want to do? Are y'all, do you want to stay here? And at first they were like, yeah, we think we're going to stay. And then they came back. We came back to the table 2-3 weeks later, and they were like, no, we want to go home. Back home to family. And it just made my life so much easier because I was going back and forth just trying to rack my brain.
And then it helped you learn them, too. Seeing their,
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip around to relationships real quick. You and your partner should have the passwords to each other's phones and social media accounts. Agree or disagree? What y'all think about that? Agree or disagree?
Nah.
Nah?
No. The phone password. I don't think about the Instagram and stuff like that. Personally, I
what you be doing? No,
I'm not even like that. But it's. I had the password and I saw some stuff.
No, I don't. See,
hey. I'd rather save the heartbreak. So.
I feel like you should, but you don't have to use it. I mean, it's like an all or nothing type thing. I'm just thinking like that right now.
Yeah.
I feel like all or nothing. Yeah, I feel like you should have it. You don't have to use it, but it's it's always that security.
Right.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't per se feel like you just should. But if I ask, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Or if they ask me, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
So I don't think once we get together, we should say, okay, now here's, but if we ever feel like there's but then that kind of can cause an issue because it's like, well, why now? You know what I mean? But I just feel like, hey, I definitely think I would be bothered if I wanted to and asked and I
and it
couldn't.
didn't again.
Yeah, because it's like, why?
Yeah, then at that point it's kind of
can of worms.
You shouldn't talk to your ex while in another relationship. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
You shouldn't.
So what are we talking? Ex, a year ago. Ex,
You could say you're just your last previous ex, and now you're in a new relationship right after that.
Because you know what, my ex is my best friend, truly.
I'm gonna cut that out.
No, and my husband knows that.
Oh, okay.
He knows that we're really cool. He may not like it as much, but it's I feel like I have to be 100% transparent with him.
Yeah.
I know it's not as comfortable for him, but I'm like, if I hit it, I feel like it'll be a bigger issue. So I want to be open and transparent with him. Because we have a child together too.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it makes it a little whatever. And I don't know, maybe if we didn't have a kid together, maybe it would be, yeah. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like it's okay.
yeah.
I feel like it can be okay. If you and your person got it to where
I ain't cooking.
I feel like
Like the spare wheel type.
if you and your person got it to where like this is what it is, we're just cool. We've been cool for a minute. Cause look, sometimes with exes, y'all just weren't meant to be together. Y'all were meant to be just friends, but y'all was just trying it, and it didn't work. Yeah. So I feel like in some instances that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if it ended ugly and they went off on the person you went, nah, it ain't gonna work. Okay, cheating. Hold on, let me do this one first. Can you be in love with somebody and still cheat?
I'm gonna say yes. I haven't done it though. I haven't done it, but hey, not too much. No, I just feel like with well, I guess in love can mean many different things, but I've seen friends who claim to be in love. Maybe it wasn't like that, but who had claimed to be in love, and for the simple fact of their sex drive, you know what I mean? They did that only for the physical, you know, never towards anything like that. So.
And I'm not speaking from experience. I'm not speaking. Seriously, I'm not though. But you know, I mean, just seeing others in relationships. I think women and men are kind of different, and so one more physical, one more emotional.
Right.
So if a woman is needing some emotional whatever, she's probably gonna go but she and just not even thinking about leaving.
See, I didn't even think like that. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And a man, if they're not getting that physical whatever they need, they love their woman for whatever she is, and they're gonna go out and get the physical.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like you can be in love and still cheat, because I don't feel like it's a love thing that has to do with this. Like if you're lacking, or it's like excitement. Right. But it has nothing to do with that person.
Right.
Cheating is unforgivable. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Can you?
I
was going to say, can you really forgive somebody if they cheated?
I can't. And even if I did, I feel like after the fact of like accepting that, I'd have trust issues, and I'm not gonna put myself through that. You know? So
I don't feel.
I mean, it takes a strong person to forgive somebody for that. You know,
very mature person.
Yeah.
You know, so and I tell people this all the time. Like, you are only what your capacity can hold. So some people cannot deal with cheating, and some people will 100% be okay with it every single time, all the time,
every time.
You know,
You're
and there,
right.
you know, or some people like, okay, I can forgive you once or twice. They have that much faith and trust in that person, and they understood like why they did it, and they're like, okay. And there's some people that's a total deal breaker. Yeah. There's some people if finances aren't where they need to be, that's a total deal breaker. Yeah. So I think it's just what you can accept and hold and maintain, like the capacity that you have for it.
I'm gonna give y'all a scenario, okay? If you and your person get into it in a public place around friends, you should wait until y'all are home to talk about it. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
Why? I disagree.
Like I said, oh, for real? Okay. So you're talking about like an argument? Or
and the energy's off. Like, well, y'all just got into it or something. One of them, like, made you mad about something, and it's like,
I feel like just if you're in a setting with a bunch of your friends, I feel like it's also disrespectful for your friends to like, you know, you just start and stuff, and everybody's trying to have a good time. It kind of messes it up.
You're not starting stuff.
Right.
It started.
That's the problem. I just feel like you should pull them to the not like talk about it right then and there in front of people, but you should definitely pull your person to the side, go to the car, go to the bathroom. Hey, what's up? Like, why are you feeling like this? Because if you don't, your whole night is not going to be good.
And sometimes they'll go, well, what were you talking about? It's like, no, I'm going to tell you right now, this wasn't cool, and I want you to know. Just like a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to wait to get you home to spank you. We're spanking you right now. But, I mean, I do sometimes just to de-escalate things. I think maybe not. Yeah. But with my temperament, You know, we talking. I don't even know if we going to the car. It's like, hey, you know.
Should you get your friends' opinions about your relationship? Because I feel like everybody does this. We're like, bro, this just happened. What do you think about this? Or like, do you feel like we should do that?
No, I feel like plenty of people have lost something good due to letting their friend's opinion influence their actions. So,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't, personally.
I feel if it's a trusted, if you trust that person's, that they're,
Like it's a neutral.
yes,
Yeah.
and giving good advice
Yeah.
on, you can, because we all need to vent sometimes. You may not need to tell everything. You don't
Yeah.
want to say everything, but I think we need to be able to do that. And if not, I know that I heard this guy before, and I was like, this is the best advice I had ever heard in my whole entire life. He said he and his wife, they would, if they had a disagreement, they would always go to the Bible and say, what would God do? And I thought that, and it doesn't have to be your Bible. It could be whatever. Like, where can you go to say, if we don't agree on this, what should we really do?
Yeah.
And so I thought that, because I'm like, because you do, sometimes you vent to people, and it's just not good energy for your relationship.
For sure.
I feel like even sometimes with that, though, that could be not necessarily a bad thing, but not as beneficial as you just talking to your person first about it, because they're not in the relationship, so they're not going to really understand certain things with it. But I feel like a good thing is if you don't want to talk to your person, y'all just got into it, I learned that even just being in their company, y'all don't have to talk. Y'all could go walk or like go color or something, so it doesn't feel like so dismissive.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to talk to you because I'm mad at you. Nah, like just being in their presence, and then whenever y'all ready to talk, just ask, okay, you ready to talk right now? You ready to do this?
That's
I
some
feel
great
this
advice,
is-
Ryan.
Thank you, girl. Nah. All right, should you tell your friends your goals? I feel like you should, because they can hold you accountable. But you can't tell every friend your goals, because
Right.
yeah.
True. Because,
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. That's pretty
friends and others as well, because everybody doesn't think the way you think. Everybody doesn't have the same abilities and passion and perseverance, whatever. They don't
Yeah.
have it. And so they will dumb your thoughts down because they don't have those type of,
simple. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
that ability to think outside the box or whatever. So I think you should share things with like-minded people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Should your friend be able to talk to anyone you have history with in the past?
When you say talk to, what is that?
Like in a relationship with,
Ah,
get to know, date.
well, it depends. Okay, you mean
That's
like,
weird.
Yeah, no, that's weird. That's very weird. It depends if like you've had an actual relationship with that
Yeah, you
person.
had an extra relationship. You know what's crazy? A few months ago, I would have said they should be able to, because it's
Yeah,
just like
I'm
you never know. But now, this Ryan,
Nah. Can't do it. Can't do it.
all these people in the world, you want my person?
Right.
What?
Exactly. My garbage. My trash.
Your friend frequently cheats on his/her partner. Do you tell them? Like, do you tell the person that they're with or not?
I'm not.
It's your friend.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
doing it. I'm not doing it.
Bro, I play dumb
Solid.
all the time, y'all. Like, I play dumb so much that I be forgetting.
Same,
Like,
same. Can't do it.
Mm-mm.
Can't do it.
Okay, what about if your friend is staying in a toxic relationship after you gave them advice multiple times? What you think you should do about that?
At that point, I kind of just let them see it for themselves because you really can't do anything
They're
for them at that
asshole.
point. Yeah, you know.
They're just asking you
Yeah.
and they're just it's like,
You was so serious when you said
It's true.
yeah.
You're
And
very
sometimes
right.
you just gotta back up, like, and you just let them hear themselves. Like, that's what I do. I'm just let you hear yourself.
it doesn't matter if you have your person's location or not in a relationship. Agree or disagree?
It does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Um,
I feel like it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it does. I feel like you shouldn't have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that was one of the things in my past relationship. I didn't have to ask. Like, we just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. So last one. Childhood trauma can stay with you forever. Agree or disagree?
100%.
Like,
Well,
even if you healing and stuff?
I feel like if you're healing, you know, you got to truly be healing. And that's why when you say therapy, I definitely think everybody needs therapy.
Everybody. Y'all. Not
Everybody.
What you think?
Yeah. What is the question again?
Nah, you good. Childhood trauma can stay with you forever. Agree or
Oh,
disagree?
most definitely. I also feel like it can affect you in a good way as well than a bad. Myself, I am a survivor of. I tried to, do something a long time ago, and I know a couple people who have had the same experience and they've taken it wrong, but I've used the experience to spread that awareness. So, you know what I mean? I feel like it's all about your perspective with that type of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it can, even if you heal too, because that's what you healed from. It's gonna stick with you, not in a bad way, but it's just always gonna stay with you.
Right. That's true.
Thank y'all for being on this, and put in the comments who you agree with the most, who you disagree with the most, anything that really stuck out to you that you I don't know why you doing that.
Oh, I'm trying to keep it low key.
But nah, y'all. Thank y'all.